Kenya's YouTube, I like it. She have different segments. She discuss different things. I like the fact that she does not have like guests because it's Kenya shooting the shit. So in the most recent one, she had one child, her baby daddy was around there. Okay, and two, um, she was discussing the men of the Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so let's get into it. Now again, still go to Kenya's channel because she discussed other things as well, but I put these things for us to discuss.
Don't get me wrong, a man who shows up is a blessing. But lately, it's feeling like some of them want to have their own peaches. Let's get into it. From the groom trips to glam shots to the reunion seats. Are the men just showing up or are they showing out? Now, we've watched husbands evolve from being background support to full-on castmates. And sometimes it's giving scene stealer, not supporter. And some of these men, it seems like they want to put on a wig, get their nails done, and put on a dress. Like, I don't understand. Why are they so thirsty to overshadow their significant others?
I think Peter was the first housewife husband to be extra, extra. I think Peter was a camera hog. He loved the camera. I think he was different than, because I think Greg was also on camera a lot. But he was always like Definini. Peter was the first, like, I want the attention. Okay. Then we had Ralph, who wanted the attention. And I think this season, we have the complete opposite with Shamia's husband. But yeah.
I don't get it. Some of them are even having their own confessionals. Like, y'all need to stop it. How is it that you are a person's husband or ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband, but you have your own confessional? Like, we want to hear from you that badly? No, I want to hear from you in a scene where it makes sense. I don't want to see you sitting there with your too tight sweaters on, with your muscles bulging, and looks like you have on a little kid's suit or a little kid's shirt. I mean, buy 3 words. Buy your size.
Kenya shading Ralph about them too got ass. Ralph Coaster do be tight. And you know Drew and Kenya are friends. So I love Kenya reading Ralph for filth because Ralph having a confessional isn't. I don't think any other man has had a confessional on his own to discuss beef with his wife.
Make your size, buy your size. Okay? Okay. And first of all, the husbands were always supposed to be a supporting character. Someone that lifts their wife up, listens to their conversations, has feedback. You know, we get it. Be the husband, okay? Don't be the bitch. Let's take a moment to reflect on the husbands who stirred the pot, stirred the drama, and occasionally stirred our patience, okay? Peter Thomas, the OG man with the mic. Now, Peter, let's keep it real. Peter was always far more interesting than Cynthia. We get it. We get it.
My God.
I mean, y'all, is that not the truth?
Look, I know Kenya and Cynthia ain't on the best of terms as we know, but I think Kenya's right. Cynthia was a bit boring. I think the most, Cynthia was entertaining when she was with somebody else, but when it was her and Peter was the more entertaining because he was messy. You know what I'm saying? And Cynthia is so calm, cool, relaxed. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know that is the truth. Cynthia's not the one that is pulling focus. Peter's pulling focus. That is just the truth. That's my opinion. Okay, you don't have to agree with it. I'm not being a hater. That's what I feel. Peter was always very interesting. You wanted to know what Peter was going to say, when he was going to say, because he had no filter. And their dynamic was very interesting because he clearly was an alpha male with a big opinion and loved the spotlight. Okay, so we have Peter Thomas.
He still does. So even every time you get a chance, we're going to say something.
Taking first place. And then we have Drew Sidora's estranged husband. Okay, gaslighting behavior, chaotic confessionals, mysterious trips to Tampa. It felt more like an auditioning than participating in a marriage. So go back to the last episode of Life Twirls On. I spoke about how I feel about exes airing out dirty laundry. It's not for public consumption. You weren't in a relationship with millions of people. You were in a relationship with one person. And that is where it should end. The knowledge, what happened in the relationship, that's where it should really stay, right?
Because Ralph meeting up with Portia, Shamia, talking shit on podcasts. We now see him kind of teaming up with Dennis at the reunion. It's like, why would you do all of that against your wife? You shouldn't be ex-wife, the mother of your kids. Why would you even do any of that?
Ralph is very triggering for me for some obvious reasons. I think he is a lot like one of my exes. And I
like Mark, ex-husband.
think that is the real issue that I have with him. He's so inappropriate. Most of the time I can see through all of his lies. I can see through him just being this scared little boy, really wanting his wife, but not really knowing how to show up for his wife, how to be respectful, how to be supportive. But this last stunt of him crashing out on Twitter or wherever the hell he posted all of those receipts, it's like, dude, you lost, okay? You're a loser.
Girl, you lost. Loser.
Lost. Drew is doing well. She's thriving. She's got an album out. She looks better than ever. She's talented. She's driven, and she ain't stunting you, as they would say in my community. She ain't stunting you. She has moved on. Okay, she is living her best Rouseless life. Okay,
to say that he's helping her storyline is like insane.
He is nice.
For him to gaslight her into saying he's gonna show out text messages to 30 million people.
And I think the weird thing is how people try to give Ralph credit, and I don't know why. Seeing the thing that Drew that Shamia has said, that Portia has said, that Phaedra have said, when Portia and Phaedra have both went through the same shit with their exes. You know what I'm saying? To me, Cordell, Simon, even Dennis a little bit, it's like a Ralph. You know, Phaedra with Apollo, like a Ralph. I can't believe that even though these women have went through trying time with an ex who was an attention whore, okay, the fact that we keep seeing Apollo on every show that Phaedra gets on as well, like your men do the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Simon is like a Ralph. So it's weird to me how, again, Phaedra, Portia, and even Shamia a little bit, where it's coming at Drew through Ralph or with Ralph. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, what kind of woman is you to want to help a man drag his ex-wife on the show? Portia doesn't want Drew talking to Dennis because she doesn't want, you know, their shit interfered with, but she's interfering with Drew and Ralph's divorce, giving him ammunition to be negative towards Drew, her and Phaedra. I will be like, you know what? Ralph can't sit behind me. He can sit over there. He should be somewhere by Drew. I think even to bring him on the reunion like that, it's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So they want us to believe it's a sisterhood or whatever. It can't be, because y'all see what Drew going through with Ralph, and y'all try to use that to get at Drew when y'all went through it too. When Phaedra said, like, I already had my marriage on, why would I want to ruin someone else's? But you on recording saying you know Ralph, and Ralph makes money, and Ralph, you bigging up Ralph?
If he turn around and do it,
That's all he does is gaslight her, okay? He turns everything around to make it seem like it's her fault. That is the definition of gaslighting. Drew isn't doing anything wrong. Whatever happened in their marriage that caused the demise of their marriage, it is what it is. They're going through a divorce. And so you're over there being salty in the basement.
her basement.
And well, it's their basement. They bought the house together. I gotta give them that. They bought it together. But you should just leave. You should just leave. Find a little bachelor pad. Put on your little tight shirts. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, your Prince heels. And go out there and be a big man. Pull
Not Prince heels. Thank you, Keisha L, for the super chat. Phaedra's and how great and how they rap, which is crazy to me. We ain't never seen or heard Ralph do shit. Never. But we know who Drew is. We've seen her talents. You know what I'm saying? So every time they try to big up Ralph just to demean Drew, it shows what kind of women they are. It completely shows what kind of women they are, because I would not want to use that as a get back, because you went through it too.
your big boy panties and be a man. Leave that woman alone. She has moved on. She is thriving, and she is in her Ralphless era, and she is thriving. Okay? She's making money. She's providing for her family, her children. She's not talking about you. Why are you talking about her? You're trying.
And not even to mention, Drew still working on the show, doing her music. We don't know what Ralph doing. Ralph can't afford to move out. If Ralph is such a great person doing all this shit, why can't Ralph afford to move out and live somewhere else until the divorce is done? You know what I'm saying? Ralph wants the drama. He wants the chaos, because he's the chaos demon.
To make people think differently of her. You're trying to put her and cast her in a negative light, the light that you want to take away from her, but she's not going to dim her light for you. She is only going to continue to climb. So you climb your ass back down to the basement, find a way to make your own money and get your own apartment, and figure out, are y'all going to move and split up the dividends for the house, proceeds from the house, whatever you want to call it, and get your own place. Either way, she's still winning, buddy.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, I watch it. It comes on Bounce TV. Is Drew on there? Columbus Short is on there. Who played the daddy? I can't think. Is it BB Winans play the daddy? I think BB Winans is the daddy. on the show. It's called Mind Your Business. Come on Bounce TV on Saturday. I watch that show too. It's a good show. I like it. Can you Mark don't live with Kenya? Mark did move back. Mark did move to Atlanta. He doesn't live with Kenya. But Mark does now live in Atlanta because Mark's restaurants in New York closed. So Mark moved to Atlanta. And I feel like that's fine. His daughter is in Atlanta. Mark's other kids are all grown. Brooklyn says, she's a kid. I think it makes sense for Mark to live in Atlanta. His daughter's there. He can raise her. And I think people forget, that's still Brooklyn's father. And I would hope that he would want to be closer to Brooklyn to help, be in her life. But Mark, I posted that on my IG, I think last week. Mark don't live there.
So stop.
Mark don't live with her. That's what I'll say.
Crashing out. Stop acting like a little bitch. And get your own life, okay? Get your own life. And please stop writing books because nobody is reading them. So my question to you guys, can you date a man that wanted to trade a wrench in for a microphone? Or do you want your man to just be supporting cast, be in the background, and lift you up wherever he can, however he can? Rub your feet, tell you did great today, you look beautiful when you're walking out the door. Go get him, just tell your truth. You are who they want to be. Do you want that kind of man? Or do you want the man that's in the basement cooking ribs about to burn your house down?
Child, I'm making ribs. Now again, we know that the house that Drew and Rob live in, is their home together. But I do feel like once the marriage is over, and if you're this big man, move out. Move out. Don't move to the basement. Move out. I thought they should have both moved out and sold the house, in my opinion.
From the basement. I just want to know. I just want to know. You're trying to work your way up to the main kitchen, and you in the mother-in-law suite. Stay in the mother-in-law suite. Okay, I'm done. I can't stand that man. Sitting there, he should have spoken.
So this is the second video that she did where Mark pops up. Okay, because Mark look homeless. Okay, because just them shorts and flip-flops or whatever.
Yes, Mark. What is this? From Dre?
Yeah.
So, Kenya films her videos at her salon. Okay. Mark, she did a live at her salon. I want to say one day last week. It was her first live. And Mark was there. He was there with Fast and he left. She did then this one, and Mark is there as well. And so they were recording this because they were starting to record her podcast.
Oh,
we filming?
Yeah, it's okay. You just walk in the shop for no biggie. I don't know. Beach plum is fine. Really? You gonna simulate violence toward me? That's a good look for you.
So Mark acting like he's hitting Kenya is crazy. Okay. I also had to play the speed for this so her voice sounds different. But Mark acting like he gonna hit her is stupid. And I like her like, nigga, you stupid. That'll look good.
I mean, you gonna get clicks? You trying to get YouTube clicks?
Oh, really? That's how you want it?
I'm really a favor for you.
Yeah, that's how you want to be known? That's how you want to be known?
Low energy bitch, you sit there talking, bring the energy up. You like that nigga?
Nobody is low energy at all.
Listen, I'm sitting right. Push that way back. Push that.
You don't even know the right saying. You're just as corny as you look. Get out.
I don't care what you're doing. You ready?
We ready, go ahead.
I like her giving it to him. Like, sir, you're not even saying right shit. You're just as corny as you look. Sir, get out. Bye.
This is the new Mark Daly segment. I'm gonna push that wig back.
Security?
Yeah, exactly. Security.
All right, ladies, let me tell you. Whatever she says goes into it. It ain't gonna work.
Okay, that's a way to support your ex-spouse and mother of one of your children.
That's X5.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Speaking of which, nobody will watch. Nobody will watch you. Nobody will watch you. Goodbye. Lock the door on your way out. Lock the door on your way out, please.
To me, this is healthy co-parenting. You don't like your kid's father. Okay. Meaning he around here for something. I don't know for what. It's fine. I have to tolerate him, but get out my face.
Oh my God. Actually, this is gold. Can you lock the door? Security! All right. Pause.
You have to do.
Did you film that? Yes. Okay.
Now, I don't.
Like, get out and lock the door. Again, in the live she did again last week, when he was on her live, like maybe 20, 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? We see his hands right there, whatever. Even she said then, Mark don't live with me. Like he has moved to Atlanta, but he does not live with me. Now, where he live, I don't know. But even now, her getting into having to co-parent with someone you can't stand.
I have all the answers. I know sometimes I pretend that I do, but I don't. But I do know this. Peace is the real prize. When it comes to co-parenting with someone you've had real pain with, it can feel like navigating landmines. But it's okay to admit that it's hard. It doesn't make you a villain. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you a loser or a failure. It makes you human. People see the polished version, but behind the scenes, there are days I have to remind myself not to text back in emotion, but in intention. And trust me, that is a superpower because when you're dealing with someone you've dealt with before and they
It's her having to say, I can no longer text back or respond back out of my emotion. I have to be intentional because if I respond back out of emotion, that person still has a hold on me and I don't like it because I'm having a co-parent with somebody I can't stand. Okay? I can't stand his ass.
know you, they know how to push your buttons, or maybe they inadvertently push your buttons, but they're pushed and they push you. And then you're reacting out of emotion and being negative or being angry. And I don't want to be that angry Black woman. I don't want my daughter to see me as an angry mom. I don't want her to see my feelings change when someone walks into the room that I'm not necessarily getting along with, or I don't necessarily agree with, or I look at myself and go, how did I ever fall for this? And we've all felt it with exes, right? When the love goes away and you look, and sometimes you can just look at someone and go,
like, what the fuck was I thinking? I liked you. I was in love with you. I cried over you. I was stuck on you. And she's right. Kids pick up on emotion and feeling. So kids can sometimes feel the tension in the air. And if you are always upset at your child's other parent, and that's how your child sees you. You know what I'm saying?
you get on my damn nerves. What did I ever see in you? And I know we've all felt that. Men, women, everyone, we have all felt that. How the hell did I choose you? How the hell did you have me twisted? How the hell did you have me crying? How the hell did you have my mind messed up and following up behind you and losing myself?
Because for a long time, we was like, Kenya, what is you doing? Kenya, Mark ain't shit. Can you leave Mark? But I think her point is, at some point, you don't even realize that you stuck on stupid.
We have all felt that. So you're not alone. I know I don't have the answer to every message, or I don't have to answer every message. And I don't. I find when I don't answer messages that trigger me, I feel much better about it later. And the one thing I can tell you that I am so proud of myself, and I know that you can be proud of yourself for this, is when you set boundaries. You have to, number one, tell people how to treat you. The power of boundaries, clear boundaries, it equates to less chaos. I don't want chaos in my life. So I'm going to tell you what this boundary is. You cross that boundary, there are repercussions. Okay? Maybe there's distance put in place. Maybe there's things that you have to do if someone crosses that boundary. But that boundary protects yourself, and it gives you immediate respect. I no longer care what you think. I no longer care how you feel. I don't want to be a cruel person, but I come first. And I think as long as you put yourself first, you will always win. You will always have that peace. As I said before, peace is everything. I'm in my peace era. I need to have peace in my life. And I want to encourage all of you moms in high conflict in these situations where you are not getting along with someone you are co-parenting with. And we'll talk more about it. I think I'll do an entire show about it. As you can see earlier today, patience.
Because Mark them pop around there bothering her, and she has to have the patience of Job. Okay? Patience of the gods. I can't react it. If Mark in here making dumb jokes, act like he gonna hit me, even if that's his way of joking and it gets on my nerve, I'm just not even going to respond to it. I'm not going to react how he wants me to, because why? If I do, then he won.
Being intentional, being clear is very important. So you need to protect your peace. Now, my child doesn't need perfection in me. She just needs me to be present and to know that she is loved and she is valued and that she comes first in my life, because my child always will come first. So that means I need to get along with someone that no longer serves me, that is no longer my soulmate, no longer what I thought they used to be. That's okay.
And so when I keep seeing people like, oh, why she around Mark? That's her daughter's father. Even though Mark is a POS who we don't like, that's still Brooklyn's father. And Kenya making the decision to tolerate him so that her daughter doesn't feel any kind of way about him not being around. Her daughter doesn't pick up any bad habits and bad tempers or bad emotions, because Mark could possibly be a good father, but a shitty husband. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like if him moving to Atlanta, at least he's closer to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? At least he can see her once or twice a week. And her saying, you know, if I have to put up with someone I don't like because I have to co-parent with him, I can do that and still not, you know what I'm saying, break my peace.
I'm going to do what I need to do to raise my child in the best environment possible. Now, don't get baited. Don't fall for those childish games when somebody sees that they can't control you anymore. That's the real clapback. You can't control me. You can't control my emotion. You matter only when it comes to co-parenting our children. So to every woman that's building peace in a place where chaos used to live, keep twirling forward, honey. You deserve it. You deserve your peace. Live your peace through your truth.
And this is why I like Kenya's YouTube show. I feel like, you know, we have Kenya's YouTube show. We have Phaedra's YouTube show. But not Phaedra, Portia. Kenya's, Portia's, and Nene's are the current one. I think Shamia may have one as well, but I don't really watch Shamia stuff at all. But I feel like Kenya pivoting from, you know, not being on the Housewives of Atlanta anymore and doing her own thing on her own channel, it makes sense. Her and how she does it is cute. You know, Nene in these interviews, child, whatever. Portia, you know, using Dennis child, whatever. I think Kenya's show seems authentically motivating. You know what I'm saying? It also shows that she's trying to be better. Okay, she's trying to not be a villain, but she can be the villain still, child. Okay. But I like the fact that she's pointing out, one, the men on Atlanta is some hoes. Peter's a hoe, Ralph's a hoe, hell, even Mark's a hoe. But we don't have to allow them to control our emotions. You know what I'm saying? I like that. And again, she's co-parenting with her baby daddy. Okay, and that's all that has to do. Anyway, you know, building peace in a place where chaos used to live. Yes. And I think people don't understand you can be peaceful with people that you have to be around. You just choose you choose your boundaries. You know, even her allowing him in her space is because it's Brooklyn, and maybe he around there, child, building and painting. I don't know. Maybe she's painting to paint the walls. I'm not sure, but at least she is trying to, you know, not be still upset, not let Mark control her emotions, not let Mark be the end all. I'm gonna build some peace where it used to be chaos. Bitch, and kiss my grits. Okay, so I liked her stance. So, but she also went into other things in the world. I'm telling y'all, Kenya's stuff is cool because it's called Life Twirls On, and she does episodes, I think, maybe once, twice a week. So go around and look at it, okay? Because we like it. Anyway, y'all.